Three women, wives, mothers, and entrepreneurs with mouths and minds so dirty they don't want the parents in the carpool line to know their real identities. This is Kinks Out. Our names may be made up, but the stories are real. I really hope that caught you saying, yes, mother.
Yes, mother.
Because welcome to Kinks Out. Right before we started, Geeg said, yes, mother. We're not sure why. Why? Oh, because I told you you'll know when to talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello. Welcome to Kinks Out. The trio is back together finally. I looked and we have not recorded together in a month, and that is not okay with me.
Ew, that's gross.
Holy shit.
So let's not do that again, okay? But
No.
summer has pretty much like stolen our souls in so many different ways. Like, Shug, you have been on many grand adventures this month, and you have won Mom of the Month in my book. Because
Mom of the Year, girl. She's just been like making dreams come true.
We'll take it month to month, okay?
Just remind my children about this.
I really do, because they are lucky little turkeys. And I said that at one point. You have done a lot of really fun things with them. But because you've been off on these adventures and having the time of their lives, I guess, we haven't talked to each other. And Geeg, you've been home, but I mean, just chaos. Everything is chaos. I was away at a 5-day baseball tournament with my kids and family. So July was over. Like, I blinked and that's it. July's done. So it's August. And we're going to gear up for the end of season 1, which is crazy. Back to school, all of the things. But before we get into today's episode, while I was at a baseball tournament, the two of you had a little get together overnight, which I am jealous, but also happy that you guys got to do it. So I want to hear about that. And on said trip, it wasn't really a trip, overnight, I guess, you guys planned.
Well, I had two nights.
You had two nights.
So mine was.
Yours was a trip. We'll call it 2 nights. It's a trip.
Whatever you.
Shug had an overnight. Shug had an overnight. So while you guys were there, you dreamed up a really cool idea for a Kinks Out retreat. So I want you guys to talk about that a little bit. Tell us about your overnight trip before we get into the episode. So
yes,
you're up. Because I was at baseball, so I wasn't there. But so tell me everything, please.
So there's a couple things to go over, basically. So, Shug, we're dreamers, right? Like if there's an idea and it like it's the tiniest spark, turns into a fucking wildfire.
We are really good for this.
Hence how we're sitting here. We wanted a book club. We started a book club. We wanted to do a podcast. We started a podcast. But one of the biggest things I feel like we both like wanted something to like help make us feel empowered, because we're both boss ladies.
Oh,
it sounds weird to say boss lady, girl boss. I don't know if I want to be a lady just yet. I just had
boss bitches.
Okay, well,
there you go. Boss bitches.
So, yeah, I mean, what made us like start this? We were sitting poolside with a beverage.
Things with you too. And this is what makes me laugh, because I am not creative. I'm not. Like, this is not my like realm of things. I get ideas for something so small, and then I tell Geeg or I tell you guys about it, and it explodes from there. But obviously this wasn't my idea, but that's how my mind works, is I'm like, this would be cool. And then you guys take it next level. But the two of you, it's like, you guys could have just been like, let's have a dinner with people from anybody local who wants to come and talk about the podcast. And it turns into much, much more than that. And I love that about you guys.
It turns
into the Kinks Out 2025 retreat.
Yes, in September in California.
Which is on the other side of the country from where we live.
I mean,
I should add.
That's
quick
okay.
plane ride.
Yeah, it's
It is a
fine.
quick plane ride. You're not wrong. It's not
It
that
is.
long.
So, do you want to talk about it, Sugar? Or do you want me to kind of dive into some of the deets?
I'm sure you have all the deets in front of you because you're organized and I am not organized. But all I want to say is that I think our little dream child is just a weekend with a lot of people who like sexy stuff.
Yes. To sum things up.
Well, la-di-da.
That's all you need
And
to
if
know, everybody. Send us
that
your
doesn't sell
Venmos.
you, if that doesn't sell you on it, then what will?
Oh my God. So basically, we came up with the Kinks Out retreat that we want to do September 2025. Do you love spicy romance books? Do you want to feel
Yes.
empowered and spend time with like-minded women in the California sunshine?
Yes.
Who the fuck are you? It's
Which
time to
you
embrace
are.
your FMC. It's time to embrace your FMC era with the Kinks Out girls. So there'll be limited spots. We plan on doing a weekend, like I said, in September in Palm Springs. We want to have maybe like the first night we'll order pizza and do a Kindle decorating cover night. I'm like a sucker for the stickers and all that. We'll record an episode of Kinks Out together. We will do a poolside dance party. We'll have which I love. We'll have a group dinner. Whether we couldn't decide yet whether we would have like a chef come in or have it catered or whatever. But like Saturday night
Oh,
will be like
we are definitely having a shirtless chef come in for sure.
We're going
like nothing but the apron is what is happening.
Wait, what's that guy? Who's that Instagram guy chef who like fingers papayas? Do you think
we would never get him? No, I wish we could. Dreamers can dream.
What about the guy who wanted to send us pictures of his penis?
He's probably listening. He's like, I volunteer. I'm tribute.
I volunteer as tribute.
I guarantee you we can find another man to finger a papaya for us. I'm sure we can do it.
Probably, you're right.
I'm sorry.
That's how I described him. That's what he does. Every time you like watch one of his videos, he has 2 fingers and like a bowl of pudding.
I mean,
he whips it real quick.
we keep watching.
That doesn't deter me from him anyway.
You're like, I love it. So we are also going to do a poolside photo shoot. So that is going to be however you want to portray yourself. Our thing was sort of like embrace your FMC era with a spicy poolside photo shoot with 2 professional photographers. And we just want to feel good about themselves. Yeah, that's us. That's me and you. I don't know if I've ever said what I did on
You guys haven't. You've never said that. That's like you say you always say entrepreneur stuff like that, but you've never actually said what you entrepreneur on. Is that how you?
Is that how you say it? What you entrepreneur on?
That. What you entrepreneur on? Trademark.
Yeah, we're both professional photographers, so we just want women to feel empowered and to enjoy themselves with like-minded women. Lodging will be included, a swag bag. We'll have breakfast and lunch like each of those days, and just enjoy each other's company. So we've had a lot of, a decent amount of interest. So once we can figure out where we're going to be on that, we can get some price points for everybody so they know, because we have found some sick places that we could stay.
I'm excited to hear more about it.
Shut up. We're gonna have to like cut that whole part out.
Why?
You're like all 0 of the people that have interest beside the
I didn't verbally say that, and no one can see my face.
I could. So then I
got 5 or 6. 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
I think we should get T-shirts that say "in my FMC era" for sure.
That would be
as part of the swag bag. In my FMC
Start
era.
shopping for your assless chaps right now. Start shopping.
Seriously. This is true. But no,
All
when
chaps.
we have our poolside dance party, you get to dress as like your favorite book character, or you'll dress like as your favorite era of whatever. So naturally, I'll be a cowgirl.
I will be Rachel
And
Price.
I'll be
See?
Bella.
Stop. Oh, speaking of Twilight, my Instagram algorithm thinks that I love Twilight because
I wonder why.
every time I see a Twilight reel, I immediately send it to Sugar. Like there's no hesitation. It immediately goes to her. So now my algorithm is like, damn, she loves sparkly vampires. And every other thing now is Twilight related. And I'm like, I don't love them this much.
You do
You
now.
should. Yep.
I do now. You're right. All right. So we talked about the
Well,
retreat.
listen,
We talked about
hold on. If there's anybody that is a boss bitch, and you make, whether that's clothing or t-shirts or bookmarks or like all that kind of stuff,
stickers.
stickers, things we could put in our swag bag and include, we would love to partner with you. So shoot us a DM and we can
Slide
chat.
on in.
Yeah, slide on in. We'll chat specifics.
Geeg, on your trip, something happened to you that I think we need to share because it came up again before we started recording because you have on different headphones. Can you share with the class what happened?
So we stayed at I'm semi upset about this because, so listen, how do I even want to start?
Make a long story short. Do you want me to say what happened? Because I've already heard the story, but it's like it's enough that you need to tell it again.
So obviously, because I had a night to myself, I took a vibrator and then I put it in the drawer beside me in the room.
Next to the Bible.
Next to the Bible. Next to the Bible.
Where one always puts
And
their toys.
Also I put my AirPods in that drawer as well. I was like cleaning up the little nightstand or whatever. And so I popped those in there. Also, I had like a little bag that had like my favorite headband, which I feel like I'm most pissed about right now. But number one, I didn't even use the vibrator. The night that I spent by myself, I ended up just getting room service and binge watching Bridgerton, first off. Second of all,
which is still okay. I mean,
it
a
was
solid
great.
night, in my opinion.
It was great. Went to bed early. Was excited to see Shug the next day when she was arriving. But because I just took my Kindle to the pool and did all that, I never used my AirPods again. And I get home and I realize my AirPods are still in the drawer beside the vibrator.
With the vibrator.
And the Bible.
No.
The Bible wasn't yours.
No, but like, why do they still keep them in the drawer? That's weird. Yes, I take my vibrator and my Bible with me on every trip.
And a whip.
So listen, I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. How do I like play this? I call and they like transfer you to like theft services and like, what is it? It's like theft like protection or like something like that. It's a department, they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to connect you to like Johan in theft services. And I'm like, okay, loss prevention and theft services. That's what it's called. So I'm like, great, cool. Let's talk to Johan. Get over there, talk to Johan. He's like, yeah, there's people in that room now and we can't check on that until, they leave, which is weird because if someone's going in to clean their room, can't they just have a note in that room that's like, oh, people left stuff? I like explained. It's AirPods in a purple case. And that was all I said was AirPods in a purple case. I was like, the rest is fine. Whatever.
AirPods in a purple case.
So he's like, okay, I'll let you know when I talk to, like when we can get in that room. Like 3 days go by and I call again. And then it's like, oh, this is John or Jim. So like, I'm talking to all these, sounds like middle-aged white dudes. Like, I'm like, cool, this is great. And then on like the 5th day, he's like, they're still there. And I was like, damn, first off, this is an expensive place. These people
where you guys were was not cheap. They went for it.
Right.
I was like, okay, you guys are having a time.
Maybe they booked an extra night or two once they opened the nightstand.
Apparently. And like I had my
The
AirPods. My
extra
husband was like,
amenities.
And I didn't know this was included.
my husband was like, the people in room 360 have a choice now. Like they need to either, they
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 do it.
got a
They did have a
choice.
choice. It was like a choose your own adventure.
Nobody turned them in. I had the find my whatever on my phone. I could see them still there. They're still there. It's probably dead by now, so I haven't looked. So I call again and they're like, "Oh yeah, they check out today. We'll call you tomorrow once we look." And I'm like, "Okay." And listen, like beside the AirPods is a face scrubber
My God.
and
Wasn't a face scrubber.
and a headband. And
Not a
yeah,
face scrubber.
so I have on new headphones. I still don't have them back. He did not call me the next day. And my husband's getting he's like, "They're AirPods. You need to get them back." And I'm like, "Yes, I would like them back, but this is also a ridiculous situation." He's like, "I'm calling." So I can let you know what happens when
He's
Mr.
on
Geeg
it.
gives
Mr. Geeg.
gives a phone
I
call.
want
So
I want you to, in live time, check to see if they're still in that drawer, please.
okay, let's see.
Yeah, see if we can track them down. What
Or
if
if
they're
they're in
still
like
charged, but like
Austria.
somewhere else? Yeah, what if they're somewhere else now?
I mean,
Someone's
they
like,
could be.
yeah, they're like vibing out with their AirPods in, literally.
Yeah, no, it just says that last seen last week. It shows them like directly where our room is. I'm gonna play a sound on them, so maybe you can like do that on your thing. So I'm gonna let it play a sound and connect, and we'll see if somebody's like, "Oh shit,
Oh, you should have
maybe
done
they're
that when
in."
those people were in the room.
I did.
But even
Oh.
still, it's not like they can pick them up and be like, hello.
No, but they could take them to the front desk.
Yeah, you would think that somebody would have done that and they would have called me. It wasn't like these random, they were in a specific color case. I knew exactly what they looked like. So yeah, fun times.
Someone got free
Whatever.
AirPods. I'm
It was
guessing
worth
they had
it.
enough. They had enough money
What were
to
you gonna
stay at
say?
that resort for like 5 days, but needed to steal some AirPods.
Needed to
Son of
steal
a
the
drum.
AirPods. They were
So
like,
yeah,
this is
it
a
was.
sweet deal.
Oh, and look at this vibe.
AirPods and a vibe. AirPods and a vibe. That's
Well,
how I say everything now based on that reel. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I sent it to you yesterday, Geej, when you had your cowboy boots on and a muumuu. But there's a reel going around that it's like whatever you're wearing, it's a combination of two things. Like I've seen one that it's like green dress and a pink bob. Green dress and a pink bob. And it's a whole group of people who do it. I actually saw a group of men do it. And the one was like big t-shirt and a tiny dick. And that one was really funny. They all talk about having small penises, and it was really funny. But that's how I sing everything down my head when there's a group of two things. That's how it sounds to me now.
I love it.
I'll send it to you because it's really funny. All right. So we talked about the retreat. We talked about your trip. I guess now we can talk about this episode. If anybody has listened before, you know that we did an episode where Sugar went shopping and she picked books for all of us. And I finished that book. Geeg, you didn't finish yours. And Sugar,
No.
I think you finished yours, didn't you? From when you
I
went
did. It
shopping
was
and picked our
painful,
books? Yeah.
but I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you did it. So this go around, Geeg went shopping at our local library and got us books. So who wants to go first?
Well, so yeah, I got them from the public library because we frequently go there. And our library has the paperbacks. I've said this before. You can take free paperbacks in the front and not have to check them out. You're just like, hey, taken 2 or whatever like that. So I decided to do my Geeg went shopping from the free paperbacks. And yeah, there's like Amish romances, cowboy romances, even some like popular paperbacks. But it got weird this time. I think Shug should go first.
Mm.
Hit it, Shug.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Miss
I
your
made
voice.
made it to page 24, which honestly, in my world, that is not bad. That's not too shabby for me to make it to
In
page
Shug's world, she
24.
finished the book.
Exactly. And I understand why Geeg picked this. Captive heart. Resist if you can. I think it's like a female pirate, I think, because, by page 24, who knows? But
You weren't
but
fully into it to understand what was happening. I
I
get
mean,
it. I did a shit job this time. It's okay.
you did not do a shit job. I am a shit friend. I do not follow directions well.
You are not.
I do not read well on command. I do not read well in general.
On command is a big statement because we've had these books for months. FYI.
I didn't pick them up like 2 days ago. It was like, read these. We're recording on Friday.
I'm just saying that, like,
oh my gosh.
Whenever I get to my part, I'm not any better. So I'm just saying it wasn't an on command situation.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the book that I bought at the store that I wanted to read, I am also on page like 22. And I've had that book for a month as well. So it has nothing to do with the quality of the book. The only reason that I could not go further in this book was the language that was used. There was just a lot of twas. Is that how you say it? Twas. Twas. And nay. So it was a lot of, I guess, pirate language, which I guess I would have to get used to if I wanted to be pummeled by a pirate. But this, I guess I would prefer that my pirate didn't talk. If they were going to say twas and nay, it would be much better to just...
They. I thought you said they.
Yeah.
That's a pretty standard word.
That's understandable. It's hard to read. It's hard to read books like that.
That was actually
anything.
Sorry.
I know. I was just gonna say, is there anything like so you just didn't get far enough in? Like it was just. Is there anything about like what it's supposed to be?
I think that I would definitely like the story because it's like this is like a strong woman pirate.
Yeah.
And she's going after let's see. Let me remember stuff like this.
Pirate lady.
Yeah, pirate lady.
Helena.
When was the book published? Look up that too. I'm curious on that.
Yes, this is good. I mean, the way that my book looks like it was published in the 1800s, but but it was not. This was published in 2006. Wow. Okay.
So,
but the story takes place in 1136. So if they're writing the way that people talked in 1136, I'm gonna sound so stupid. I didn't even know 1136 was a year that you could be alive.
That does sound weird.
I thought that was before Christ. Like, it's not possible. There were
pirates and dinosaurs. You just didn't read far enough to get to the T-Rex in the ocean.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what are they talking about? 1136.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't sound right to me either. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Like, I realized it was a time. That's really funny. That does sound funny.
I bet you,
it sounds like a made-up time.
I bet you it gets sexy. I bet you. Oh, I just stumbled upon a part that's way further in the book. She's nipping at his thumb. And he eased it between her lips, and she grazed it lightly with her teeth, then lapped at it. Okay, that's too far. then took the whole thumb in her mouth, sucking hard. Like, serious?
Do you like that, or is that an ick?
It was okay with the light graze, but then as soon as she took the whole thing in her mouth, that was too much.
And the lapping.
The lapping. Too much. But I'm guessing. Oh, listen, this is what he says to her. This is why I could have never survived this book. Lucifer's bollocks, you're a wicked wench.
Stop. I'm unwell. You should
Um,
narrate books. Oh my god, I can't. What
Yeah.
did he
So
say?
I'm
Lucifer's ball?
Lucifer's bollocks.
you're a
What
wicked
does that
wench.
even
Yeah.
mean?
You
I'm
sea
guessing
wench.
she's real good at sucking his thumb.
His thumb. Wow.
Well, I'll dive into mine because so yours took place a little earlier than mine. Mine was 1511.
Yeah, see, I believe that that's a time in art history, but
Yeah, for
11
some
doesn't
reason,
sound.
11. No, 11 sounds made up.
11
I
makes
agree,
it feel
Shug.
weird. So, same thing. This was really hard. Like, all right, my life, it's called Highland Thirst. So, when I got it, basically these guys capture two Scottish vampires and they're part of this group looking for them to kill them or like find out how they live so long. And the captors, so like those are dudes, but then the captor's cousin lives with him, I guess. Like her dad was the laird of where they live, but because she wasn't married and she was a woman, she couldn't take over where they live.
What's
And
a layer?
so, like, the person who runs the community or whatever.
This is the rake situation all over again.
So, yeah, she couldn't be given her title or whatever. Asshole, that sucks, whatever. But he plans to marry her off to one of his best friends so he can steal her dowry, like that she was supposed to have. I don't know. So listen, he's got these two vampire dudes stuck. Same sort of thing. Like, I was trying to find like the same sort of talk. Everything's like me, like, ye and we lass and all of
Yeah.
those, like, so many of those. I can't even think about it. But so he's like torturing this vampire dude in the basement and she's curious, so she goes and sees the prisoners that are down there, which include the vampire dude, and she ends up deciding to help him and escape because she wants to escape too. Like, she, like, since it's where she grew up, she like knows like all secret passageways or whatever, and like she overhears her cousin and the friend talking about how they've captured these vampires and they're going to kill him or whatever, and that he's going to marry her like to this dude. And so she's like, fuck that, I'm out of here. So she helps them escape. But like, it's not your typical. First off, when I saw this, I had no clue it was vampire. Didn't even cross my mind. When I saw the cover of like a shirtless dude in a kilt, I was like, cool, Highland Thirst. She thirsty. Like, that's it. Like, I didn't think for blood. That was not where my mind went.
Oh, I didn't even connect that dot until literally right now.
Didn't
So,
even thought of it. Did not cross my mind.
no, I
But
wouldn't have
so,
either.
and it's not like your typical, I'll like air quote that, but like the vampire dude, he's a halfling. His dad's a vampire, but his mom's not. So like he doesn't need blood regularly. And like these vampires don't go out like sucking everyone's blood. They like drink from their clan. I don't know. There's so many things. Like, one of the guys in the prison scene was like, oh, I've heard the demons, what they're calling the vampires, they call them the demons. They have massive rods and bullocks as big as apples. Like, I was like, that's the guy.
Massive rods? What's a bullock? Again, what is that?
I can look it up. But I was just like, so yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna look
it
it up.
was a bit much. And so Bruna, the main girl character, she gave her blood to help the vampire Hemming to like, and like that became some kind of like bonding thing that like he wasn't aware of, and or like she wasn't aware of. And yeah, what do you're making a face, Mars?
It's
They're
it's
balls.
balls. Yeah, they're balls.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what the British
I
say.
asked what they were,
Oh.
and you said we could look it up. So I did.
I sorry. I was really like, I was really into my
Okay,
book.
bye.
I audiobooked this too because it was free on audiobook. And so the cousin and his buddy, like, I don't know. It's ridiculous. There's blood drinking. I'm like, this is still weird though. Like this back of this and the intro and stuff talks about like these two dudes that get captured. I'm like, I just cannot keep listening to this. And then all of a sudden it's like the end. Also, after he says, I saved this quote where he says, amazed that such blunt talk could make her womb clench with delight. I was like,
Oh,
no.
Well,
yeah, that's a no
gross.
for me, dog.
That was an egg. But so I'm like, and end scene. Like, I'm like, what? The end? It's 2 books in one.
Oh,
And I was just like, pass, hard pass. And also, this is the 4th book in a series. So that sucked. So I already like dove into it and was like, this pains me because I hate starting books out of order. I mean, it wasn't, I'm good. I don't need any more of my Scottish vampires. I'm okay, thank you.
Scottish
So it's
vampires.
vampires in skirts
Essentially, yes.
Chug. That's all you
with
need.
big rods and bollocks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do
big as
their
apples.
skirts? How do their skirts cover their rods and
The
bollocks?
big rods.
I don't know. He was chained naked for half the book, so
That's oiks.
He was what? Changed naked?
chained, captured. Chained.
Oh.
Didn't the silver hurt him?
Yeah.
Aw, poor
I
buddy.
know. That's why she gave him his blood. Gave him her blood. And then they
Obviously.
bonded. Yeah, fated mates or what have you. Anyway, yeah, DNF.
Well,
You made it through a book. You made it through one though. So
Yeah,
you
you made it through one. That's not a
won.
total
You won this
DNF.
competition.
That's
you
true.
did win. Mine really takes
We're all
place.
winners here. Simmer down.
I have a really late era for mine in 1778
Ooh.
is when mine takes place.
What was
So
yours
it was-
about? Like, what's it called?
It's called Too Wild to Wed, and Wild is spelled with an E because it's the male main character's last name. That is their last name is Wild. And
Okay.
he is a lord,
Wait,
I guess.
Yeah.
so too well.
He's not a laird?
Too wild to wed.
Like WILDE.
Yeah.
To wield what?
No. Wild. No, wield would be spelled W-E-I-L-D. It's spelled W-I-L-D-E. Just wild with an E.
Oh, I was putting that E where it
Did
didn't
you
belong.
think I meant like W-E-L-D?
Yes, well.
Too weld to wed.
Too weld to wed.
I was like, oh, this will be so embarrassing for her, but it's embarrassing for me.
Like, I'm fine, actually. I know.
I'm not.
Oh, Shug, I love you. So anyway,
Oh gosh.
moving on. After I went in with this book because I don't like to read a real book for the most part because I read a lot at night. So I went as far as to purchasing this book to read it on my Kindle.
You did not.
I did. It was only like $8. It wasn't crazy, but it was still like I'm like I know I'm not going to be able to read it in the time that like I wanted to read it if I had to read it like in a physical book. So I bought it on my Kindle. And I really should have read a little bit of it before I bought it on my Kindle because as soon as I saw that it takes place in 1778, I was like, this is not going to be for me. I will say, so it basically starts with the Lord is supposed to marry a girl and they end up like calling it off. And then he goes away to war and comes back. And she is like living in his castle as like a nanny and has a child with her that everybody is assuming is like her child and his child. But like he didn't know anything about it until he got back because obviously it's 1778. They're not like, hey, bro, just so you know, your ex-fiance moved in. Like you can't send a text, you know? Because that's how I would tell somebody something like that.
Hey,
it would be a
bro.
text. It would be in a text because I can't call somebody because it makes me nervous. So So he comes home and sees her there, and I didn't really get much past it, but it's obvious that like there was still a mutual attraction there. And people are thinking it's his child, but like he knows it's not his child because they never boinked. And he's like, she was lying to me, blah, 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 this stuff. I skipped ahead far enough to know that like it's her sister's child, but like her sister left and she took like basically adopted her nephew. And then someone in the castle found her and was like, come back and live here and we'll take care of you and you can take care of the other kids. So I actually do think that I would like the idea of this story, but in like modern times.
Yeah.
Like he marries the nanny situation because but it was like how you guys said the like I would call it like a period piece. Like that's how it's
Yeah.
written. I don't like books like that. And the way that like she described him as wearing like embroidered coats and heels and powder and wigs, it was just
Oh,
it
no.
That
it
doesn't
got
get
a
you
little
going?
Twilighty. I was imagining like the Martin Sheen, is that his name in Twilight? His character. Like how their faces were so white and he had on the coat and he's standing like this. That's like kind of how I had them pictured. But then they had on like clogs. And it just the whole
What?
like that's how I
No.
imagined it in my head was, and I didn't like that. And they were definitely using types of words and like phrases and stuff that I didn't know what it meant. So, and like they were talking about like lip oils for him and just
I
it
don't
was a
know. The
lot of
picture you're painting is getting my loins heated up. Say powder and wigs and clogs, and I'm in.
Boom.
That's it.
She's
Well, I
ready.
have a copy of this. I'll pass it along to you. It
Thank you.
just, yeah, it just wasn't for me personally. But I do think that if it was written as a story right now, I would like it because I like stories like
Yeah.
that where he like hires the nanny and then they fall in love and it's great.
Yeah.
Because I do think that that's where this was going. Was that like they were gonna just end up together? It was gonna be a happily ever after. But it's a huge series of books, I guess. This whole wild weld family has a
I
lot.
Wait,
do
what
love
page
that
did you
when
get
it's
to?
families.
What? What page
We
did I
both
get
just
to?
yelled over each other.
I got to page 69. I was 18% in
Oh,
before I was just
69.
like,
Not too
yeah,
bad.
I couldn't do it anymore. It was like I'm trying to find like a passage. It's just like the grand duke to be, graceful and stylish, perfect in every way. I had been hoping for a baronet. Like I don't know what a baronet is. A kind man with a coach and four and a comfortable house, and who would overlook the grocer in my family. Like, oh yeah, her dad was a grocer, so it was like she was trash. I don't know. Listen, if my dad owned a grocery store, we'd be balling. Okay.
Right?
Like
Seriously.
to have an inn at a grocery store right now, you're a millionaire. I'm just saying, milk's like $5 a gallon.
Groceries are so expensive right now. It's alarming.
It is. It's just, yeah, the whole thing was, it just wasn't my style. And that's it. So I didn't read it. I didn't finish it, but
I'm never picking out books for you guys again.
it's okay. If I would have looked at the title, like just the cover of it, I probably would have been fine with it.
I mean, I did. I
Um,
shopped the covers, obviously, because mine was about like freaking vampires and I didn't even know it. So I obviously didn't look that much into stuff. I was like, ooh, title and cover. Here we go.
Well, I'm
yeah,
sure it
it
was
just
hard.
was
You were like fighting like, old pickleball ladies for these titles.
old pickleball ladies.
Yes.
Yeah, like she
No, I
tells
think
him.
I was trying to stop my children from running back into the library.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, it just wasn't my jam. But again, it's just because I don't like types of writing like that. The actual storyline, when I think like I did like the story, but I don't like powdered faces and wigs.
Well, we're
It's
going
all
to
right,
need to do
Mars.
Mars went shopping.
Okay. I'll think way too hard about this. Whew.
Yes, you will.
I will. Pretty sure. I'm already stressed out over it. So
I
I'm
love
gonna have
people
to take.
pleasing Mars. It's just like, I did not finish this book. I did not like this.
She's
I
like,
would have
"Ah."
liked this book, but like four times now. I could have liked this.
Liked it, I
And
promise.
I was just like,
Like, listen.
this was shit.
Guys, my feelings are really hurt. I spent a lot of time.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to please you. I didn't even say the author's name, but I'm worried she's gonna listen to this and be mad at me.
You don't even.
These authors, if they wrote books from the 1100s, they're in their like 90s now. Like, there's no way.
I don't
This
think that's
lady-
true.
Let's see. I'm gonna look her up.
I wanna
Sometimes
see-
that's people's jam as we're all sitting here, all of a sudden needing to look up our authors.
Yeah, I need to see how
right,
old this
so-
lady is.
My author was born in 1962, so she would be 62, right?
Yeah, mine is 67. She's a hottie. Look at this. Look at this hottie.
Oh,
I'd let her
Look at
pummel me.
her. Oh my.
that's funny.
Oh man. Mine is, I don't know.
85.
I can't see her age.
85. I had to do
She's-
math, so mine might not be
she's
right.
Canadian.
Being-
But I can't see like anything about her. I don't want a book list. She's read a lot of stuff.
I was surprised when I was on my Kindle looking because I wanted to buy it. This author has written a ton of books, but they all seem to be like this whole wild family has their own series, and that all must take place in 17 something. And I don't know, it's just not my thing. I have read books with like time travel, sort of like Highlander vibes, but not that series. And I was okay with that because it was like present time people in the past, and then they would go back and forth. But just to be like straight up in 1778 was a no for me.
We get it. It was a no. You hated this book.
But I could have liked it.
But she could have liked it if it was a different book.
If it was a different book set in right now, I could have liked it.
Wait,
I
did you
think
say you bought the audiobook too? Or you bought the Kindle?
No, I bought it just on my Kindle to read.
So, Geeg, your audio, like, did it sound
Yeah, it
like
was
it was
free.
recorded on a
Oh, it was
like,
awful. I
tape
could barely
recorder?
listen to No.
Tape recorder.
No, but I was not a fan of the narrator. It was very
Oh, it was
painful.
one
I listened to
person.
it. I listened to it at like 2.5 times speed, so they were just talking so fast. I was like, oh,
They
get me through this.
Yes. Rods, bollocks.
Sparkly skin, silver.
Wait, did they have sparkly skin? Is that a vampire like trait?
No, they did not.
Okay.
Not in this one, no.
No sparkly skin.
Yeah, no sparkles. God.
Mm.
I can't believe we're going to be on to season 2 soon.
We are. The rest
Like,
of the
who are
season, we have what, 2 more episodes, I think. We're doing like a back to school episode. And then the end of season 1, I don't want to give it away just in case for some reason logistically it does not work.
Oh, it will work.
Oh, it will work. Yes.
All right.
Oh, it will work.
We are commemorating the end of season 1 in a fun way. And I'm real excited about it.
I'm literally watching my baby climb out of his crib on the monitor right now.
Better send the pup up there to catch him.
Like, are you kidding
Climb
me?
aboard.
Why are we here now? Why is this like things can't get complicated enough?
The wheels are off, Geeg. The wheels are off.
The wheels are constantly off.
All right. So I'll wrap it up then, I guess, so you can go catch your baby.
No, we're actually fine. My mom is here.
Oh.
Yeah. So I text her and was like, red alert.
All right, Mama G.
Listen.
So anyway, we'll talk for another hour. No, just
Yeah,
kidding.
sorry.
I can hear my creatures upstairs. It's like dum, 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 across the
Yeah.
steps. I hear them stirring. They're not going to give me much longer. But yes, we are getting ready to wrap up season 1, which is wild. We're going to take a short break, probably not very long because of who we are as people, but we have to get all these kids back to school and all the things like that, and then get back into we don't have kids climbing all over our faces all day routine.
I'm so excited for back to
Of our
school.
10 kids, all of them except 3 are going to be in school full time, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like 2 of ours will be in preschool. So like half the time. So we only have 1 full timer now, which is like at home full timer.
It's hard. I feel like my kids' preschool, it's like weird. It's only like, I don't know, I put them in like this little step up program, but it's like only from 12:30 or something like that. Obviously, I have to look it up before school starts to like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's
So it's like,
normal
I feel
for
like it's
preschool.
barely any time, but
That's what, my youngest goes to
naturally
preschool this
yours
year.
is
And
in the morning
mine is in the
and mine's in
morning.
the
Yes, of
afternoon.
course. And yes, and why would anything be easy? I'm confident she might start napping again, though. She has been lately. And I think with being in school, she might be more tired. So we'll see what
I
happens.
make her tired.
But yeah, so we have to do all that stuff. So we're going to take a very short break after these next 2 episodes. We'll still be like active on all of our socials and everything, of course. But I'm excited for season 2. We have a lot of fun stuff already planned. I sound like I'm wrapping the season already. I'm not telling you anything. We still have more episodes.
Yes. Fun episodes.
I got excited. I pulled up the schedule and I was looking and I was like, oh, that'll be fun. We have
I
a
know.
lot of
I was
fun
just
stuff.
looking at it too.
I'm excited for the back to school episode because there's so many good teacher student books out there.
Ooh, yeah. That's one of my favorite,
It is. I do love that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've read so many more even than that, like I just can't even remember. But I went through and like picked some of my favorites. So I'm excited for that. And then the end of season 1. And then it'll be fall. And I'm excited because I'm tired of being sweaty. So
I agree. I'm ready for some pumpkin scented
Yes.
candles. I'm ready for some sweaters.
Sweater weather. Look, Sugar's disgusted.
I love sweater weather.
Sweater weather. Sweater weather.
And in the winter, you guys asked, for real, I am going to the rodeo. While we're sitting here, my friend that's taking me is sending me boots.
Where's it
How many
at?
pairs of boots will that be?
Edit it out, but where's it at?
But so it's like PBR, like the Real Professional Bull Riders Association.
Right, I know what PBR stands for. I'm asking, where is it at?
Drop
I thought it was Blue Ribbon. I thought she was saying Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That's what makes me think of.
I didn't know
Grab a
that
can of PBR.
That's what you're gonna drink there is PBR. Where is the event taking place, Geeg?
I don't want to tell you if you're gonna sass me. Google it yourself. It's in PPG.
Oh, it's here. What are you talking about? They have cars. They have
monster
dirt
trucks.
bikes. Yeah.
So
these are horses.
These are bulls.
Oh, God, I'm really good. I'm doing really well.
Here for a second. I wonder what's the difference. I mean, they're 2 different animals, I guess, but bulls are much bigger than horses, I think, and like stockier.
I mean, they're mean.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, they're dangerous. So yeah, I get to go do that in the new.
Wait, I can't believe it's in Pittsburgh. I thought you were flying to Texas or something. That's very exciting.
We mean business. I literally have 10 different pair of sexy cowboy boots sent to me right now.
So this will be your 3rd pair of cowboy boots.
Just keep in mind that it's in January. And where we live, in January. The weather is awful. So I would get some boots that can withstand the elements and wear
Listen,
pants.
You just put a little
listen.
slipper on top. A little slippy.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Oh, I'll be fine.
Listen, I used don't I
don't
where
you-
I went to college, we would like walk through Oakland in like the skimpiest outfits and heels because we didn't want to take a coat.
Yeah,
And so we would
absolutely.
Right,
walk from our house.
But you're not in college anymore. Nobody wants to do that now. I'm just saying wear sensible pants so you're not cold.
No, Geeg. I'm going to go right now online and I'm going to find you assless chaps with a tiny little metallic bikini to go underneath. And that's what we're wearing.
But you should wear a trench coat over it until you get there.
I mean, yeah, you
Mama,
could do that.
This is why I called you mother
Yes.
at the beginning of the episode. So this is why we wrap it up. She's like, no, you're gonna look sexy as fuck. And then
you
mother comes
can.
in, she's like, with a coat.
And a scarf.
Take your mittens.
Is this why this dynamic?
Where that venue has a layer of ice in it. All right.
God, if it's covered with dirt, it's going to be covered with dirt.
It's still cold.
Listen.
Ice is cold.
This is how this dynamic works, because if it were just Geeg and I on this podcast, can you imagine the amount of trouble we would be in?
You would be like, no. You're not going to a local
You
bull
would
rider
be
thing.
in
You
Spain
are
at
going
chasing
to
bulls.
Yeah. But you'd be like,
You'd
no,
be
no,
waving
no.
the red flag yourself. All right.
We would be in Texas. We would be somewhere
You'd be at the
southern.
honky tonk. Holy moly. You're right. And
That's
I'm like,
next.
you can go to it locally, but please dress appropriate.
You're gonna make sure that I take liquid IVs and drink enough water before I go.
This is the
I don't
stepping
park
stone.
too far away in the dangerous parts.
That is true. Can you get a parking pass for the garage so you don't have to leave the building? It's going to be nighttime in January.
Did you just turn southern? It's gonna be nighttime.
It's going to be nighttime. That's whenever I mean it. That's how I talk. Okay.
Here we go.
Yep. All right. It's time to wrap it up because the wheels are off. So anyway, thank you,
It's my favorite.
Geeg, for going shopping at the library for us.
What did you say, girlfriend? What did she say?
My toddler has joined the chat and she wants to know where your dog is, Geeg, because my child loves you and loves every creature within your household. So anyway,
They love her
to
right back.
summarize, Geeg went shopping. It was a bust. We love you anyway. If you're interested in the Kinks Out retreat, DM us. Let us know. We're starting to figure out logistics for it. So let us know if you're interested. It's going to be fun.
Who wouldn't want this in person?
They can't see
My
us, so they
God.
don't know what we look like right now, which is good because they'd be like, professional photographer. Anyway, I love you guys. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all the things. New episodes every Wednesday. And I love you guys.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't click anything.